Welcome back. You're with us on Trading Hour. Sunny Agarwal, Head of Fundamental Research at SBI Securities, is with us. Sunny, great to have you on the show. So I want to start first with a question on banks. We were just discussing a lot of the updates that have come in. And yesterday, the small finance banks, a lot of those stocks were excited because of good updates. Today, Aavas is, reacting to those numbers. So just tell us which ones stand out for you, your thoughts on what we've seen in Q4.
Yeah, good morning, Surabhi, and thanks for having me on the show. So I think among the small finance banks, Suryodaya Small Finance Bank is the one bank where I see we have seen an outlier number. So advances growing by 41% year over year and sequentially up by 14%. Deposit up by 50% year over year and sequentially up by 20%. So CASA deposit up by 77% year over year and 31% Q on Q. So I think a standout number by Suryodaya Small Finance Bank. Although it's a small bank, in terms of market cap, it's a very small, but I think the outlier number coming from the Suryodaya Small Finance Bank. And another one on the, if you go for a mid-sized, small-sized bank, I think Catholic Syrian Bank, CSB Bank is a bank which has reported a decent set of number. So advances up by 18% year over year, 7% up sequentially, and deposit up by 21% year over year and 9% sequentially. So Catholic Syrian Bank and Suryodaya Small Finance Bank.
Yeah. Sunny, your view is that market returns from here on, the expectations need to be tempered down. It's not going to be the kind of returns we've gotten used to, and therefore it's a stock selection approach. In large caps, now many of your top picks, whether it's L&T, ITC, Maruti, these all stocks have done very well in the last 1 year. So amongst your large, top picks, where is it that you see value right now? If one has to buy 3 stocks in the, amongst your large cap, which ones would you recommend?
Reema, so I would like to go ahead with Mahindra and Mahindra first. I think their SUV portfolio, that is passenger vehicle portfolio, continue to do well, a robust order book. At the same time, they are increasing their manufacturing capacity. So I think that will add a margin kicker in FY25. At the same time, a lot of their subsidiaries are turning around, and on a SOTP basis, I feel the fair value of Mahindra and Mahindra is close to 2,300, 2,400 rupees. So that will be one of my top pick for FY25. Moving on to the next pick, I would like to go ahead with Canara Bank and Union Bank. Both the banks are likely to grow by 10 to 12% as far as advances is concerned. Trading at a reasonable valuation, close to 1.2 time price to book, 1% ROA. I think there is still a lot of catch-up to happen as far as valuations are concerned. So among the PSU bank, I would like to go ahead with Canara Bank and Union Bank. And one consumer company I would like to bet on is Tata Consumer. Although we have seen a weaker set of commentary coming from Dabur as far as provisional numbers are concerned. But I feel Tata Consumer is a play on both organic as well as inorganic growth. So Tata Consumer is one of the pick among the large cap.
All right, I got that. By the way, I was just looking at Zomato's move today, and it's not just today. Zomato, we know, has been moving for a while. Pull up the chart. Today it's up to 2.5%. And what a spectacular journey in 2024. The stock has put on about 54% in 24, and it is this year that it finally surpassed the IPO price as well. The listing was closer to 150. There were concerns, the whole issue about profitability, but it sort of navigated that extremely well. And it's really the poster child of the new age internet companies pack, so to speak. Massive move there in the last 12 months. Sunny, your thoughts on Zomato? Do you like the stock? Is it under coverage? And how do valuations look?
Yeah, so I think, again, we continue to remain bullish on Zomato. The reason being that both their businesses, whether it is a grocery business and food delivery business, continue to do well. Especially the Blinkit one, where we are seeing a rapid growth. At the same time, recently company is moving on to monetize that piece of business by charging platform fee or delivery fee. So I think that will straight away add to the bottom line. And I think the runway is pretty long as far as all these internet-based companies are concerned. Still, the users are very less. So I think at the same time, there is an opportunity to penetrate into the new cities. So we continue to remain bullish on Zomato. Valuation may appear to be expensive because the company has just turned profitable a quarter or two back. So one need to have a slightly longer horizon and write the entire story for next 5 to 10 years.
RR Kabel is also one of your, stock recommendations. Again, this is a stock where we have seen a fair amount of upside. What from here?
Yeah, so what I feel is that RR Kabel is a play on basically electrification story of India. So we are seeing that day by day with the manufacturing contribution increasing in the economy. The electrification is something which is electrification infrastructure is something which is likely to expand or at a rapid pace over the period of next 3 to 5 years. And I feel the RR Cable is a proxy play to that electrification story.
No, actually, it's also RR Kabel versus Polycab. And which one does one pick? Because both of them, in a broad way, is a play on electrification, as you said.
Yeah, so again, I mean, Polycab, so we have seen some concern recently related to the tax angle and so on and so forth. So I feel on a relative basis, I feel the value lies more in RR Cable as compared to Polycab at the current juncture.
Okay, so you like RR Kabel. Let me expand that question. When you have lots of picks in small and mid caps, right? We discussed the wire and cable companies as Senco Gold. I can see Zen Technologies, JSW Infra and NCC on the infrastructure side. So if I were to ask you to pick top 3, what would be your top 3 mid cap, small cap recommendations for FY25?
So I would like to go ahead with APL Apollo Tubes. Again, the story lies with a migration from commodity business to the value-added product. So we will see a kind of margin expansion coming over there as the product mix shift towards the value-added product. At the same time, we have seen their Raipur facility up and running, which has expanded the capacity for the company by close to 2 million tons. And what we feel is that earnings are likely to grow at north of 30-40% CAGR in FY25 and during the FY24 to 26 period. So APL Apollo Tube is one of our top pick with a price target of 1900 over the period of next 12 months. Zen Technologies, again, a small size company as far as the defense sector is concerned. Right now, likely to deliver 500 crore top line in FY24. And we believe that, again, this is one of the company which is likely to grow at 30 to 40% CAGR over the period of next 3 to 4 years with a robust order book under its hood. I think this is one of our top picks. And one company which we like is from EMS Electronic Manufacturing Services, Firma SGS. So recently we have seen that their margins have come under pressure due to the adverse product mix. So we have seen the consumption contribution from the consumption sector increasing slightly, and that had led to the pressure on the margin. But what we feel is that, again, this is one of the company which is growing at 30% plus CAGR as far as sales and earnings are concerned. And we feel the margins which are currently in the band of 5 to 6% will again go back to 7 to 8% in FY25 and FY26. So that will be our pick as far as FY25 is concerned.
Thank you very much, Sunny. This was a rich conversation. So many stocks you spoke about, whether it's M&M, APL Apollo Tubes, Zentech, Firma SGS, Zomato. Thank you very much for your insights and the way you're approaching these individual stocks. But back to the policy, RBI Governor